Hi, I'm Regina Sanders. Welcome to Saturday Morning Discovery. Today, we are really going to be celebrating the season. So we're going to be doing a seasonal project. So, okay, we're going to have fun. Let's get started. Okay, so the project today for seasonal arts is, and we're going into the fall, so we're going to be doing a pumpkin man. And this is so that you will understand the mechanics when you're looking at design, but also fine motor skills. This is going to take some time, so don't give up. Keep going. You'll come out with something really unique. All right, let's start. For our seasonal project, you will need certain materials. And these are things that you may already have around the house. You will need string, any kind of strong string that you can get. You're going to need Elmer's glue, a ruler, a nice, good pair of scissors. And again, I have my trusty little cup that they use for salsa, but a top will do just as well. A top from any larger container will be good. And you'll need sticks. So if you can go outside and find some sticks or something like that, that would be good. Or if you've had Chinese food recently, the chopsticks will do. Also, bamboo sticks. These are good, but you will need a sturdy one. So anything like that, that will be good. And you will need fabric. So a t-shirt or old fabric that you have around the house, get some different color fabric that you have. It can be, again, old blue jeans, an old t-shirt, or just something that that's been discarded that you like, that shows something that pops, that's bright, that will work, okay? The first thing we're going to do is make our armature. And remember, I'm using the chopsticks, and this is a simple thing to use, but you can also go outside and look at your tree and find a thin limb, pull off the leaves and use that. Just use something that you know that you feel sturdy that will work for this, okay? So I have this, and now I'm going to put it in a cross position. I'm putting it up just a little bit high so that I can make room for the head up here. So I'm here, and I have my string. So I know I want that here. I can mark it with my pencil where I want it to be. I know I kind of want it to be right there. That's just helpful. And I'm going to cut my string, and I'm thinking I'm going to give it a nice little kind of arm's length. That's all I need here. I'm going to take this, put it in. I'm going to go crisscross around it so that I can make sure that it's tight. So I'm going here, and around and up. Here. For parents, if you have smaller kids, you may want to do this part yourself. I'm going down on this way, and I'm going to come around until I got it nice and tight so that it'll stay. I'm going to keep doing this. Again, this project is going to take time, and that's what it's about. It's about attention to detail and understanding that the end product is what you want to come out with. And I'm just going around and around until I make sure that it's stable. Okay, I've finished my armature. As you can see, it's looking just like a cross, and it's pretty sturdy. Make sure that it's really tight, and so that you won't be afraid that it's going to slip out. So I'm going to put that to the side right now, and we're going to start making our templates. First, we'll make the template for the head, and you'll need 2 for each side. So remember that. So the first thing you want to do is pull out your drawing paper. And remember I told you about the little cup here that I have. This is going to be the head. But remember, you can also use a top. So find something that's really not huge, but just a nice size of round. You're going to put it right down on top. This is the hat that we're going to do later on. This is the template for the hat, but we're going to be doing the template for the head first. So here it is. And I just put this down. I'm going to take my number 2 pencil, and I'm just going to make a circle. That's what this is for. This is my template for my head. Again, you're going to need 2. So I have folded this over, so I will get 2 out of this. And it's better to use cardstock for this template. It's a little bit thicker than drawing paper, but you can use the drawing paper to just draw it out and make sure. It's like doing a rough first to make sure that you get a nice circle that you want. Okay, so let's begin. Made the template for the head. Now I'm going to make the template for the pant. I'd already pre-cut this so you could see it. This is the template for the top, for the blouse. So that's done. This one is for the pants. I thought it was more important that you see how it's done. I had measured this already, so we knew how tall it was. But take the ruler, and so you can understand how tall you want the pant to be. So this is about 7 down. So I know that I want the pants to at least 7 down, because remember, the whole thing going down from top to bottom is moving to like 13 and a half. All right, for the whole scarecrow or pumpkin man. So for these pants, I want them to be at least 7 down. So I'm going to measure here my drawing paper. I'm going to measure 7 down, and I'm going in an angle just because I wanted to have pants, and I know that I needed to have a nice size top here, so I'm going to give myself, I'm going 2 1/3 across, and it doesn't have to be exact. And remember, I'm going 7 1/2 down, so that's about right there. Now we have all of our templates cut. We have the pant, we have the top, we have the hat, and the head. Now we're going to have to make double of each one. You need 2 templates because you're going to need 2 of the actual pieces of fabric or template for this, because you're going to place this down on the armature, so it has to have a back and the front, and you'll see why in a few minutes. So the only thing I want you to do now is know that you need 2 of each of these things. Even though you cut out the templates, you're still going to need 2 of each for the actual piece. So let's get started on doing that. All right? Okay, the templates have all been cut, and as you can see, these are actually going to go on the backings of the fabric. So the templates were one thing, but this is for the stability of the fabric. So there's a front and the back for the top, a front and the back for the pant, a front and the back for the hat, and very important, front and the back for the head. So now we're going to deal with the fabric, and we're going to glue these templates onto the fabric, and they're going to be the inside of this pumpkin, of this seasonal pumpkin man. Let's get started with that. So the first thing is, I had found some wonderful orange fabric for this pumpkin head. It does not have to be orange. This can be your personal sort of scarecrow or either person. So whenever you want to change the design in the face, you can. So you don't have to just follow this. This is just the first time doing this. So let's just do this the way I'm doing it, okay? Since it's the first time. And then next time you can do something uniquely other. Again, on the fabric, you can see I've already traced it around, but I'm going to do it again. For the head, it's going to be the same size as this. So I wanted to go ahead on the fabric and put it down and trace it. As simple as that. And then I'm going to cut it out. Make sure that it's even on both sides, and just so that this won't confuse me, I'm going to cut this off. And I left it there specifically so that you can see that when you have extra fabric there, it's okay to just simply cut that part away and only use what you're doing. Try and hold it as sturdy as you can. Make sure that you can see where you're cutting. And again, as I always say, take your time. You're not in any rush. And as you can see, I'll stop every few minutes to make it more comfortable for me to cut. Okay, now I have these two. I'll put this aside, and remember the two that I cut out from the template? I'm going to put these here now, and that's when I'm going to get my glue. I'm going to take my glue. I'm not going to use a lot. I'm just going to use enough to go all the way around. So now is not the time to be generous with the glue. Now is to be very strategic in putting it around. I use your finger. Make sure also, I didn't say so, but it's also a good idea to have some tissue around so you can wipe off. Then I'm going to take the first part and I'm going to place this down because everything has to dry. Put that aside. I'm going to do the same thing here. So those two are ready. I'm going to put those aside and I'm going to go to the pant. I picked up this fun fabric for the pant. I hope that I have enough of it. Yep, just enough. So remember, old blue jeans, old t-shirts, anything like that. Now I'm going to trace this just like I did on the fabric. That's what those templates that you made for. Make sure you have something that's really dark so that you can see. If you have a dark fabric, you want to use a light pencil, like a white drawing pencil, or if you have a white crayon, that will work. But that's if you're dealing with dark fabric. And when I get to the hat, you'll see what I mean. Okay, I've cut everything that I need a back and the front for, the pant, the head, and the top, and now we're doing the hat. And because it's black, you'll need to make sure that you have something where you can cut around, so you can cut around it so you can actually see it. So I'm just drawing around this. So there it is. So you can see where I need to cut it out. And I folded this over because, again, I'm going to need two. So now I'm going to cut it out. And I have my hat. I can make my band at any time for my hat, but I just want to cut this just a little bit in so I can see where that's going to come out. Okay? So I have my hat. Now it is the time to cut my eyes, and it seems like I've already kind of done this with these two. And that was just from the strip from the hat. But if you want to know, all you're doing is making triangles. Just cut out 2 triangles for the eyes. And then this is already from the hat also. I can just create a mouth. And it doesn't have to be this large. I've just made it kind of large. See if it fits there. So keep it simple. And there was I'm using all the pieces that I have to create the face. So that's my piece. Okay, I'm going to start gluing everything together. The one thing that that I didn't mention is how we're going to stuff it. So let's do that part next. Let's take our armature and start putting it together. I'd already glued the top part. Remember we made 2 for this together. So you're going to glue that part and you're going to glue that. You're going to stick your armature straight through like so. And the only thing you're going to glue right now is the 2 armholes on this one. So I'm going to glue this down. And I'm going to glue the other side down, just under the arms. So I'm going to let that dry, and while that's drying, I'm going to attach the head. Remember, we had put this inside, so I'm going to place it here. And the other top is going to go right on top, so I'm going to place the glue all the way around. I'm going to let that dry. Place it down. Now we are doing the fun part. We are dressing our scarecrow or pumpkin man. So we're going to put the hat together. Remember, we did 2 and felt. So remember also, always, you don't have to use felt. You use what you have. So I'm just going to do the top portion first of the hat, because I want this to stay together and I want that to dry. So I'm going to put this right near his head so you can see that, and it will dry. Now I'm doing the top portion of the pan, and remember we took our stencil and we made the inlay for the pants here. This is why. This is to stabilize it so that it's more secure. So we're going to put this in, and now I'm going to glue down the side of where I want the pant to be. I'm going to leave it open at the bottom, right down here, because that's going to be our stuffing, and we'll get to that in a little bit. So I want to make sure that the glue is all there. And now we're putting together our scarecrow or pumpkin man. And you remember I glued the hat down? So now I'm just going to place it on his head. I would glue at this point just on the corners here to keep it on. Now I want to put all my decorations on before I stuff it. So I want to make sure that he had some pockets up here. And this is why I kept all my little scraps where I've been cutting out. And so you can cut out a square pocket. And this is contrasting these pants, and put it right here. And you can also cut out another one. This is kind of ragtag, so we just want to decorate him a little bit more. So that pops out just a little bit. And then I want to just, as you can see down on the side, if you have seams showing that's down on the side, you can take the leftover material and you can clean it up just by making a length, because you want it to look as clean as possible. We have finished embellishing everything for our pumpkin man and for our seasonal arts project. So now we are going to stuff him. And the things that you can use are just the things in the yard. This is tall grass. If you don't have raffia, which is what I used for the first time, raffia is easier to stuff, but you can use things right in the yard. So there's grass, there's also dried leaves, and because this is curved around, I'm going to put that around his neck towards the end. But right now I want you to see how you can stuff him easily. And see, with the grass, all I'm going to do is just break it, or take my scissors, because I know it's going to be hard to do that, and just cut it up a little bit. And I want these to come right out of the arm, so they're going to cover the stick. And remember, we left it open here, so I can just push it in. Not a problem. If it's long enough, it can go through the neck or go through the other end, but I don't want to push it too much. I just don't want it to show. So I'm going to have that there. You can also use reeds or anything to stuff it with. I'm going to go on this side. I'm going to stuff it in this, like so. I'm going to do the same thing down at the bottom. And the same thing that I did up here, I'm going to do here. Just stuff it in here, because I left this open. Okay, so glue it down. Make sure it's secure. You hold that in place, and you want to you can glue it down here, but I think it's pushed in enough so that you don't have to glue it, but you will make that. And I also want to put some right in the chest area. I almost forgot. Because we had it opened up right in here. And it can come all the way through. This is just to give it a little bit more authenticity right there. So I'm going to cut this here, and I still want to put a nice little scarf on it, just to note that it is the fall, and have it hanging down. And he's done. So this you can decorate in your window, you can decorate in your room, and it's all just celebrating the season of the fall, and it's something fun to do. And this can also, this is male, but it also can be female. We could easily turn this into a dress, or a skirt. So have fun with the idea and come up with some unique fabric and designs of your own. All right? Thank you for joining me for S&D. Have a good day.